Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
Sorry that I forgot to get you the Zoom. So I'm going to do this quick little video with you to discuss what we did. So this was lesson 16, okay, and we did a little quick review over the different properties of addition and multiplication. And we're talking about if we are multiplying numbers. So right here on this associative property of multiplication, if I'm multiplying numbers, I can multiply those numbers in any order that I want if they don't have parentheses around them. I obviously have to follow the order of operations if I have grouping symbols, but if I don't, then I can do it in any order that I want. So example number 1 on your paper looks like this. -6 times 2 times -2 times -5 times -3. Obviously we can solve this left to right and just go across, or we can look at some combinations that might make our life easier. So right here I can see that multiplying these two numbers together would give me a 10. These two I'm just going to go ahead and leave as -12. And then I still have my -3. So anything times 10 is obviously easy, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply those two numbers to give me 36 times 10, which would equal 360. So trying to find combinations of numbers to make our life easier. This one here is the next one, -1 times -3 times 10 times -2 times 2. Again, I see this 10. I'm actually going to keep that till the end because multiplying by 10, I can just add a quick 0 at the end. Here, looking at these two numbers, negative times negative is going to give me a positive. Multiplying these two numbers together next is going to give me -4. That leaves me with -12. In my head, I'm going to multiply that by my 10, leaving me with -120. Okay? Okay, we're looking at this next problem now. We have 4 times 1/3 times -8 times 9 times -1/2. Looking at this, if I start following these, I say, okay, is it easy to find a third of 4? Not really, right? This could be 4/3, but do I really want to have to deal with that? Or a half of 9, okay? Well, if I look at these numbers, I can see that I could easily find a half of 4. And I know that 3s and 9s belong together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and take -1/2 times 4 to give me -2. And then I'm going to take 1/3 times 9 to give me 3. And then I'm going to multiply all of that by -8 when I'm done. So here, -2 times 3 gives me -6 times, I can pause it, times -8. Negative times negative is going to leave me with positive 48. Nicole, now we're looking at some different problems. We're using the distributive property. So remember that this problem right here is the same as -6 times 5 plus 1/3. Okay? 5 1/3 is the same as 5 plus 1/3. So here, if I rewrite my problem like that, I can look at this using my distributive property. Okay? Sorry, it's blurry. Gotta clear it up here. So I'm going to take my -6 and distribute it through to both of those parts. So -6 times times +5 is -30, and then 1/3 of -6 would be -2. Adding those two together would give me -32. Okay, same thing for the next one. 9 times -3 1/2. Okay, I can rewrite this as 9 times -3 plus -1/2. Okay, remember the negative applies to both of its parts. Okay, so now I can distribute this 9 through. Okay, and I'm going to get, well, I can do it two ways. I can say 9 times, if I add these together, we're going to go back to there. So we can say here, let's say we want to do it this way. We're going to distribute this through. So 9 times -3 is going to be -27. Half of 9 is going to be -4.5. Okay, and so then here, these added together is going to give me -31 1/2. All right. This one here is actually going the other way, so we want to be able to see it going both ways. 6 times -3/8 plus 16 times 1/4. Okay, so this is just backwards of the couple that we just did. So here, looking at this, I can see that I'm taking 16 times this and adding it to 16 times this. So this time I can go backwards. I can distribute that 16 out, and I can say this is the same as 16 times negative 3/8 plus 1/4. Here I can change that 1/4. We know that's the same as 2/8. Then I'm going to go ahead in here, combine these in the middle to give me negative 1/8. I know 1/8 of 16 is 2. Positive times negative is going to be negative. Okay, so this one's just the opposite way of the ones that we just did. All right, one more quick example. We had 1 divided by 2/3 times, do you need me? Negative 8 times 3, submitted, I guess, right? Times negative 1/2. You can work on your math page. So Nicole, we see this. We have a lot of dividing. We could do, what I would do at this point, looking at this, I'd say, okay, I actually want to make all of this be multiplication. So I'm going to change the division to multiplication. So 1 times 3/2 times negative 8 times 3 times negative 2/1. Okay? And so from here, I can say, okay, well, 1 times this is that, so that's all fine and dandy. And then I'm actually just going to write this as negative 2 for the moment and go from there. All right, so now I can say, okay, do I really want to find 3/2 times 8? Not really. So I'm going to look at things like, what could I cross cancel? Is there anything that I could do that would make my life a little bit easier? And I said, okay, well, if I pretended that this was like 3/1, okay, or I could pretend then this is negative 2/1, however you want to look at it. So I can see here, like these two, if I were to multiply those together, I'd have some cross-canceling that would take care of some nastiness. So that's what I did. You can do it lots of different ways, and that's what we did today, was each person solved their problems, and then we shared how we each did it a little bit different. So it really just depends on how you want to do it. So here, if I multiply these two numbers together first, I am going to get negative 3, and then I can say, well, that times 3 would give me negative 9, and then negative 9 times the negative 8 is going to leave me with positive 72. And this is kind of in a nutshell. Obviously, if I was working this problem, I would be doing it step by step so that I don't forget any of my numbers. Okay, but just trying to think of, look at ways and combinations of ways that I can solve these problems without having to do so much nasty number work. If I can do things in my head, if I can look at things to get them to cross cancel or to reduce down to the numbers that are going to be easier to work with, I definitely encourage that. We want to work smarter, not harder. Okay, sorry we forgot you. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.